Hey, what's up everyone? Danny here, and welcome to this video on email marketing for beginners, choosing the right tool. Now, if you were with me for the past few videos, we talked about email marketing, what it is and why you should get started with it, as well as the top 5 recommended email service providers for the solo entrepreneur. In this discussion, we're going to talk about how to choose the best tool when you're just starting out in a process that I call the M3 approach. I like BMW cars, so if you're familiar with those, you understand what that means. But for this particular video, we're going to talk about lean email list building strategies to create an audience of raving fans. Now, there's a lot of different ways that people approach building an email list, and none of them are wrong. It just really depends on your preference. But in my experience, having tried to build email lists that have gone to several thousand to some email lists that have kind of just dwindled a little bit and not seen much growth, these are the things that I've learned that have really benefited me in my campaigns. So we're going to cover the M3 approach to choosing an email provider, and that includes the first M, which is mindset. Okay, the first thing that I tell anybody, and including reminding myself, is to keep it simple. Create just one sign-up form or list to start building your audience. And I can't stress that enough because so many people try to create, multiple sign-up forms and free offers and all these other types of things, and they feel a little overwhelmed. They can't really track what they're doing, and so they kind of give up. And so really just start simple, create one sign-up form for your list building campaign. And when things do seem like they're getting out of control, take a step back. How to get started with focus and clarity is really what it's all about. And when you have too much going on, you will definitely spin out of control when it comes to that. So following other people too when you're just starting out, it's a natural process. It's a natural behavior because you're trying to learn as much as you possibly can. But take what everyone says, including myself, with a grain of salt, based on your particular position and where you're at in your business. And if you're just getting started, this is definitely something that I recommend. So keep it simple. The other, and a note there too is just, there's a lot of shiny objects out there. There's a lot of email service tools out there and automation tools and a lot of fancy things or shiny objects, so to speak, that will catch your attention. And you just have to use some type of discernment to say, is this something that I really need right now? If you already have an email service provider, a tool or something that you've paid for, then your answer is, okay, I need to shut all that out because I have something that I'm already invested in and I need to leverage it as best as I possibly can. So I think that's an important distinction to note as well. Now, the second thing is minimum viable tool. So what I mean by minimum viable tool kind of piggybacks on what we talked about in mindset, is that use the right tool to choose your email service provider. You want to use the right tool that doesn't have too many whiz-bang distracting features. Again, like I said, a lot of the advanced automation, a lot of the cool stuff that that you can do when you become an advanced marketer. But you need to ask yourself, do I really need to use this right now? And if you're just starting out, the answer is no, you don't. You don't need a lot of logic and a lot of conditional rules and behavior-based tagging and segmenting. That stuff is important, but you want to make sure that your tool does a couple things. One is that it collects email addresses, right? That's important. Two, that it allows you to communicate with your audience efficiently and effectively. You shouldn't have to dig through 100 menus in order to get to an email drafting template, right? So you want to make sure it's very simple to use. And what I like to really include in there, and this is something that some providers don't have, is a way to deliver a lead magnet. So a lead magnet is essentially a free offer. So if you have a landing page that you set up, which is a website you send readers or potential subscribers to get a free offer. Let's say you're offering the top 5 reasons that you should start building an email list today, right? And you would provide a free PDF download or something like that to your potential subscriber in exchange for their email address. And so you want to make sure that you have a way to deliver that. Well, not every provider delivers that. And so you want to make sure that if you are looking for something that, to give a free offer to your potential subscriber, that it does that for you. Okay. And ConvertKit, just to note, is definitely a tool that does that. And we'll cover that a little bit more later. The third M is momentum. Okay. Momentum. So pick a tool that's not only useful and saves you time, but looks good. And I say that because as someone who appreciates design, I love having clean, simple design, because I think that it really enhances my motivation when it comes to wanting to use this tool, wanting to go in and write my emails. I can tell you, I've used some email service provider tools that I dreaded writing emails because it was just too much of a hassle, kind of piggybacking. Looks like I have to write cards to my family. Okay, well, I'm gonna do that for later. So, sorry about that. But this is just a lesson in, perfectionism. I'm not going to edit this out. I'm going to leave it here because right now I'm doing something for you guys, and we're gonna get back on track here. Okay, so the next thing is building a habit of emailing as consistently as possible. So with momentum, you want to build that habit, right? And again, if you're not enjoying the tool that you're using, if it doesn't make you want to come back, then it's going to be hard to build that habit to consistently deliver to your audience. Okay. So again, just to recap, that's mindset, minimum viable tool, and momentum. So when you have those three, when you keep it simple, when you choose the right tool that gives you just the right amount of features, and it allows you to build a habit of momentum into your email communication, then you're going to be set up for success to not only build your email list, but to nurture and grow and build that relationship with your audience. Okay, so I hope this video was helpful for you. And in the next video, we're going to be talking about ConvertKit. Okay, getting started with ConvertKit, and that's the number one choice that I usually recommend people that are getting started with email marketing. And one thing I'd like you to do is, if you have any comments, please leave them below. In particular, what's the biggest challenge you've faced with email marketing if you have started before? If you haven't, what's holding you back? Don't forget to subscribe also to the channel to stay tuned for more videos on email marketing and online business tips, and also check out the link in ConvertKit for ConvertKit in the description. And I will see you in the next video. Take care.